Hey everybody, DBS TCG Central here. Welcome to another deck profile video. If you guys saw today's thumbnail, you saw today that we're doing Warriors of Universe 7 United as One. So this is basically a red leader for Invoker. If you guys don't know what Invoker is, it's a very powerful ability that came out a couple sets back. Well, a few sets back, we'll say. And basically, you can use red blue extra cards for one energy with some of the stuff, one red blue energy with some of the stuff in this deck. So it gives you access to a lot of powerful cards and stuff like that. And it really can squeeze out games pretty nicely. And there is a lot of support for it in different sets. So I'll show you what I run in this deck, and then you guys can make your own opinion and think if it's something you'd want to run. But definitely fun, and it could definitely win games. It's a very powerful deck, and it's tons of fun. I used to play the old Invoker. It was great. So that being said, if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, it always helps. If you guys want to comment, leave a like, it always helps also. I do have a lot of other outlets. I do have a Facebook and Instagram, and I have an eBay where I do a lot of my selling. A lot of times I'll do pack openings on the video, and then most of those cards, they'll go onto my eBay. Some tournament pack cards, winner cards, and really hard to get cards. So if you guys want to check out that, you can. It definitely helps me out. So if you guys want to take a look, I'll leave links to everything in the description below this video and everything, and you guys can give it a look if you want to. All right, so getting started with the deck. All right, so the leader here is Android 17, and it's got this keyword skill called Warriors of Universe 7, which means it gives all your Universe 7 battle cards no specific cost. So if it's like a blue or a red extra card or something like that, battle card, you can easily just pay any color energy for it to play it. Like, for example, this card here. It costs one specific blue energy, but with Warriors of Universe 7, you could pay any color for this here. You could be black, green, whatever you need to pay. Whatever you have in your energy, you could play this card. So basically, it gives it no specific cost. So that's the first keyword skill we have here. And then it's got an auto here. When this card attacks, you draw one card. And then when you add a red-blue multicolor card to your energy, switch up to one of your energy to active mode and negate the skill for the game. Now, I've been told, I'm going to follow up with this with a few of the judges I know, but supposedly it's the first card that you play, the first extra card that you put into your energy. First multicolor card that you put in your energy. That's the one you have to use it for. And if you miss it, I guess you can't do it after that. So supposedly that's the ruling, and I will look into it a little bit more. But for now, it's the first blue-green card you put in. It comes into active mode, which is good because usually it has energy exhaust, which means it comes in tapped. So turn one, you have a live energy every time. And its awaken here is when your life is at 4 or less and you have a Universe 7 Z battle card with an energy cost of 2 or more in play, you can draw one card and then switch up to one of your energy to active mode and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left. So good alternate awaken. We do utilize that a lot. A lot of our aggression and our defenses in our Z battle cards. So when he awakens, he's Warriors of Universe 7, United as One. So this isn't a specific character. It's Warriors of Universe 7. So it's all of them, basically. It's not like an Android 17 deck, even though he's like the premier character on the card. But on this side, he also has Warriors of Universe 7. Auto once per turn when you play, attack, or activate blocker with the Universe 7 Z battle card, you can draw a card. So that's on your opponent's turn and on your turn. And I'll show you how we utilize that. Discard one Deadly Clash from your hand when you use Arrival to play a red-blue multicolored battle card. Choose up to one of your Universe 7 cards with Arrival, and it gains barrier for the turn. Now, I don't have that much room in the deck, and Deadly Clash is kind of something I put in my sideboard in case I have a lot of removal with the player I'm playing against, or they have a lot of removal. So I'll usually sideboard that card, and then I'll side it in when they're removing a lot of my Arrivals. But I'll show you exactly why I do that in the deck profile. So that's the leader. We'll start with the Z battle cards. They are important for this deck. It helps you awaken. The first two that we run is Sun Gohan Daring Onslaught. So this card here has got deflect, so it'll come out and it won't be susceptible to counterplays, which is really good. And then it's got Z stack 2. So you got to do 2 red Universe 7 battle cards. So you play this card and then you stick 2 of your Z battle cards underneath this card that are red. Well, Universe 7, they have to be Universe 7. And then it's got another auto here. For 1 red energy, if your leader card is a red Warriors or Universe 7, which it is, and your opponent has 2 or more energy, at the start of your opponent's main phase, play up to 1 Universe 7 card with energy cost 3 or less from under this card and place it in its owner's and then place this card under the played card. So basically it revolves onto the top when you pass turn. And I'll show you which cards we use. There's one that's very powerful and really good for the deck, and I'll show you what that is next. So we run 2 of those. So this is the one that they want you to play here. It's Android 17 Impeccable Defense. I'll get to this one so it's less shiny and I can read it a little better. It's got barrier and blocker. So when it comes out, it'll have barrier. So that's a little safe, you know. And when it's on the board, it's protected. Auto, when this card is played, it can't be KO'd in battle for the turn. So that's huge because it's a blocker. So if you block with it, they can't KO it. Also, once you play this Z battle card, you'll be able to awaken, which is really good. And on this leader here, it also says once per turn, when you play, attack, or activate blocker, which is this guy here, the blocker, you can draw a card. So on your opponent's turn, you'll be drawing a card, and on your turn, you'll be drawing a card when you play one or attack with one. So it gives you basically card draw on your turn and your opponent's turn, which is really good. You can get up to a lot of cards in this deck. So active main, limit 1 for 1 red and 1 any color energy. If your leader card is a Warriors or Universe 7 card, and you switch this card to rest mode, play up to 1 red Universe 7 card with energy cost 3 or less from under this card. At the end of your opponent's next turn, remove this card from the game. So there's a few things you can do with this. You could play this one back on top, and once this is back on top, you'll be able to do this ability again. Or you could pay the 2 red energy, you know, the red energy and the any color energy, and you play another Z battle card, which I'll show you because it's Z stack 2. So you'll put this one and another one underneath. Active battle, limit 1. If it's your opponent's turn, switch this card to active mode. So because it can't get KO'd for the turn you play it, you can get 2 25k blocks out of this thing. So it's really good for defense. Plus, when you block, you draw a card. So it's really, really good. It's imperative for the deck, honestly. So we run 2 of those. So the third Z battle card, Universe 7 card that we run is something from an expansion set. So it's right here, and it's Ultra Instinct Son Goku Unthinking Onslaught. So for this card, you really don't have to worry about these Z energy costs, because once you play this guy and you put him underneath for the Z stack, they play for 1 or 2 energy without using Z energy. So it really, really is cool. And this card here has deflect and barrier, so very safe, and has dual attack and is a 20k. So this is to put a little added pressure on your opponent. And it has a limit 1 here as an auto. If this card is in rest mode and you discard this card from your hand, you discard 1 card from your hand, you when you use one of your red skillless battle cards in a combo, choose up to 1 of your cards and it gets plus 5k power for the turn. Now this is actually meant for a different deck. We don't use this ability here, but this other auto here is really good for the deck. It actually gives it added protection. At the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. So after you get 2 attacks in, you can switch it back to active mode so they can't attack into it. Plus it has barrier and deflect when it comes out. So it's a very safe card. It's kind of hard to get rid of, a little pesky, unless they have some barrier removal. Active battle, I don't think this pertains either to it, but if your leader is a warrior of Universe 7 card, and you switch this card to rest mode, you can add up to 1 skillless battle card from your drop area to your hand. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, and it gets minus 15,000 power for the turn. So we don't really utilize skillless cards in this deck, but we do want the double strike, dual attack, 20k, barrier, deflect. So that's a good reason to run it. So, and then we have one more spot to run some stuff. So I just threw in one of these, Cell Awakening of the Created. So if you don't know what this does, it is basically a board wipe. It's got Deflect and Critical. When this card is played, choose all your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less and place them under this card. And then active main once per turn. If one or more cards are under this card, you place them in its owner's drop area, switch this card to active mode. Additionally, if you used this card's skill to place 4 or more cards in the drop, this card also gets triple strike. So if they're swarming the board, this is a really good aggression piece, but also it board wipes. So it's really, really powerful card. So just one kind of tech spot we have for our Z battle cards. So just a little board wipe if you need it. Okay, we'll put those aside, and then we'll get into the main deck here. So first off, I do run Universe 7 cards because we'll see later in the deck, once you use them, you can put some in your energy, you could pop them, and then you can take another card from your drop area, and you can put it into your energy. I'll show you as we get through the deck. But the first one we run here is Master Roshi Universe 7 United. Now, this is very simple. It's just a counterattack. You just negate the attack and you play this card. Then you could combo with it after, which helps with Arrival and stuff like that. But also when you put it in your energy, it comes in untapped because it's monocolor. And also, like I said, you can do some shenanigans with it, which I'll get into in a little bit. But very simple. Just this is our 1-drop negate that we run because we want to be very defensive because we're usually playing out stuff on our opponent's turn and we are kind of stalling for our end game. Next card here that we run is 3 Android 17, Calm Judgment. Now, this card is really good. It's got an auto here. When this card is played, look at the top 5 cards at the top of your deck. Add up to 1 red-blue multicolored card with energy cost 6 or less from among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Now, this says red-blue card, so it can be battle cards or extra cards. So this is a really, really good searcher for the deck. Auto limit 1. If your leader is a mono red Warriors of Universe 7, which it is, you can. Okay, so let me redo that. If your leader is a mono red Warriors of Universe 7 card, a red Universe 7 card is in your combo area, and you discard 1 red-blue multicolor extra card from your hand. When this card is used in a combo, you can draw 1 card. So this really helps for Arrival because you don't want to lose 2 cards from your hand when you try to Arrival if you're not using the super combo that we use or some other cards. So this replenishes your hands if you Arrival. But also when you definitely, there's some cards in here you want in your drop area that are extra cards that you can get back from your hand, but also they will restand energy and stuff like that. So this is kind of a must for the deck. I run 3 because I have some other cards that can drop stuff into the drop area and other ways to Arrival stuff too. So I run 3 of those. I might bump it to 4, I'm not sure, but you know, it's a little tight in this deck. The next card that we run is Android 18 Steadfast Technique. So this card is actually really good too. It's almost like a pseudo super combo. You just don't draw a card. Choose 1 extra card in your hand and place it in its owner's drop area. When you combo with this card, it gets another 6k combo power for the turn. So it turns into an 11k combo. That 1k actually gets you out of a lot of trouble a lot of the times. Just a little bit bigger. In your combos, which gets over like that little 20k or 30k or whatever you need it to be. It gets over that little hump, and then you won't have to waste another card in your hand. So, and this is another way to get certain cards into your drop area that you might want there, which I will get to as we get to the extra cards. But Universe 7 card also. All these are Universe 7 so far. So that's a little bit of our blue package. And then we run 4 of these guys here. Friendly Rival Frieza. Now, this is a starter deck card, and it's actually really, really good for this deck. It is a Universe 7 card. It does have the tag. It's got an auto here is if your leader is red, which it is, when you combo with this card, choose up to 1 red extra card from your deck and place it in your drop area and then shuffle your deck. Now, this is to get, like I said, you need certain extra cards in your drop area. So this will get it right in there whenever you need it. Plus, it's red, and you got all these blue ones you can combo with. So it's really good for Arrival. So I run 4 of those. We'll put that over here. We'll squeeze it in. And some other red cards that we run. It's not Universe 7, but I felt it was necessary. Floodgates are always necessary, but we got Topo Righteous Aid. If you don't know what it does, you basically discard a card. You play this card on your opponent's turn. This costs 2 energy, and you would play it. And every time your opponent attacks after you discard a card, they will have to discard 2 cards every time they attack. So it's a really good floodgate, and it's also mono red if you need to charge it, but also you can combo with it no problem after it's on the battlefield. But also it's a 20k attacker, so it's kind of a meaty monster to throw on the ground. So we run 3 of those. I ran it at 2, but I didn't see it enough, and I felt like I needed it more, so I bumped it to 3. Next is our super combos. So I went with Beerus Divine Obliterator. So we'll get to the non-foil. If you don't know what this does, this is a super combo. It's always live. There's no energy, there's no life restriction or anything. You can use it as soon as you start the game. But if your leader card is red or blue and it's your opponent's turn, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one of your red-blue multicolor energy, and you can switch it to active mode. Now, this comes in very handy for untapping energy after you arrival and stuff like that, but also if you need to open up an energy to use invoker or anything like that, it helps a ton. So this is definitely a good card. It's also a Universe 7 card too. So we're following the theme a little bit. Put the foil up. So another really good card for the deck. So now we will get into our arrivals and our invoker stuff here. So the first one is Sun Gohan Strength of Conviction. I run 4 because I always want my invoker to be live. If they take care of some of my other cards, I can always drop this guy for 1. And it actually becomes free because of these abilities I'll tell you about right now. So it has energy exhaust and has arrival red-blue for 1 red energy. So you would just need to combo a red or a blue card, or you could just combo this because it's red and blue, and you can arrival this for 1 energy. So once you do that, if your opponent has 3 or more energy and it's your opponent's turn, when this card is played, it gains Invoker for the turn. Active Battle, if your leader is a red Warriors of Universe 7 card and it's your opponent's turn, you can switch up to one of your red-blue multicolor energy to active mode, and you can't play battle cards from your hand for the turn. So basically, you play this, you can untap an energy active battle, and once you do that, your invoker will be live, and you'll have a free energy to use to play invoker cards, which we'll get into after the next invoker battle card. So you only get it for the turn, so most of the time you want to play it on your opponent's turn in case some of your other stuff that gives you invoker isn't available on the board, or say they handled it. But it becomes free because you get to untap an energy. It only costs 1. So our next card is kind of the main card in the deck. Android 17 right here. It's an SR. Android 17, the move that turns the tide. So this card here has got energy exhaust. It has double strike. It's a 25k. Permanent, if your leader cards are red Warriors of Universe 7, this card gains Invoker. Auto, when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards at the top of your deck. Add up to 1 red-blue multicolored card with energy cost 6 or less from among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. So it does a lot of stuff, really. You play it for a blue and a red. You arrive, like I said, you could use a super combo, or you could use a red and a blue card. You'll get a red-blue, any red-blue multicolored card from the top of your deck after you look at the top 5. And also you KO a 4-drop or less. So that's automatically great. And it's got double strike and it's a 25k. So pretty strong card. Active Battle, limit 1. You can discard 1 card from your hand, which helps with getting certain cards in your drop area. And then you can use up to 2 red slash, well, basically, you could use up to 2 red or blue cards, both with 5,000 combo power and Universe 7 from your drop area in a combo with their skills negated for the turn. So when this guy's out, you can discard a card, and then you can use any of these guys here. Boom, boom. Not the topo, but this guy. Well, these guys here, and you can combo with them to get another arrival out, or if you just need some defense. So it definitely helps the deck out a lot. It's really, really good. And it's a pretty looking card too, I'm not going to lie. So now we'll get in some of our... Actually, we'll get into our last invoker card. I do run one of these. I think I'm bumping it to 2, though. In case they do handle all your stuff, you have this as a backup plan, really. Especially because you can combo it for 0, so it definitely helps with the arrivaling and stuff like that, and it'll go right in your drop. But if your leader card... Okay, so it's got Sparking 5. This card was actually errated, so it doesn't cost 1 red. It actually costs a red, a blue, and an any color energy. So you would have to pay 3 energy for this card to get this ability. But once it's in your drop area, so active main, if your leader is a red universe 7, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, your leader gains invoker until the end of your next turn. So if they do take care of all your stuff, maybe it's later game or something, and you have this in your drop area, you can pay 3 energy, warp it, and then your leader itself will have invoker, so you can still go along with all your invoker plays and stuff like that. So it definitely helps out in case they're dealing with this and this. But that's why I run 4 of these, so it's mostly live as much as possible. But it definitely helps out on occasion when they're killing this guy. But at that point, I'll probably side in the Deadly Clash. So when I play cards that have a rival, they'll have barrier and stuff like that. So it's definitely a good just in case card. A little tech spot. All right, so getting on to the extra cards that we can play with Invoker, the first ones that we run are Sleepy Boy Technique. So this is a counterattack. It's got energy exhaust. It's a red-blue card, so your Invoker will make it cost 1 red-blue energy instead of having to pay 3 for it. So when your Invoker's live, you pay 1 energy. You can play this card. So it negates the attack, and then you draw 2 cards, and then you add up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and you pick one of your opponent's battle cards, and you can return it to their hand. So this card does a lot. So it negates the attack. You draw 2 cards, which is crazy. It's real good for 1 energy. And then if there's a pesky thing that they played or something like that, you can return it to their hand to get rid of it. So it's not a threat maybe on their next turn, so they don't have to waste more energy. So they have to waste more energy playing it again and stuff like that. So we run 2 of those. Next card that we run is our barrier removal. It's called Emperor's Death Beam here. It's another extra card. If you don't know what it does, it's got energy exhaust, just like all these multicolor cards. Active main or battle, which makes it even more powerful because active battle, it really helps out too. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. So that takes care of most things outside of maybe, who knows, like secret rare or maybe even red sen, because it gets, if you minus it, it gets another +5. But it takes care of a lot of stuff and mops up whatever you need it to. And it's also got an active main here. Send this card from your drop area to your warp. Look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a multicolor extra card, you may add that card to your hand. Otherwise, you can put it back on top of your deck. So that's just to gain a little bit extra push like through your deck to maybe get some more extra cards in your hand to keep using Invoker. So it's definitely a good ability. And for a card that we have in here, you do want some cards in your warp so you can perform an ability, which I'll get to shortly. We're getting there shortly. So that's our barrier removal, really good. So we got Floodgates, barrier removal, which I always say are a must. And then we'll probably go to our board wipes next. Board wipes we have here are We're in It Together. So this is another starter deck card. So this card here has got energy exhaust like all the other multicolor cards. If your leader card is a Universe 7 card, choose all your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO them. So a good board wipe costs 1 energy, but also for 1 red energy, if your leader card is Universe 7, add this card from your drop area to your hand. So if you see one of these and you have to use it and it goes in your drop, or you can use this Frieza card, put it into your drop, And once it's in your drop, you can get it back to your hand if you need it in a pinch or something like that. Also able to do that. So another really strong card for Invoker, and it is your board wipe for the deck. But if you do run in a pickle, you also have your Z battle card Cell. If you can't find this for some reason, but you always will with this card here. And another card here we run just to even out this stuff. I'm just going to bring it up now. Android 18 Selfless Survivor. So, Savior, sorry. So what this card does here, it's got a permanent. If your leader card is a Warriors of Universe 7 card, and there are no copies of this card in your drop area, when one of your red Android 17 cards would be removed from the battle area by an opponent's skill, you may discard this card from your hand instead. So if they try to kill your Invoker 17 here, you could just discard this card if there's not one in your drop area already, and then you will not be able to get rid of this. Basically, if they use a skill, like if they try to KO it or warp it or anything like that, you can just discard this card and this will stay on the board. So it's really good defense for the card. But also, it does work for your blocker here on your Z battle card because it's a red Android 17 card. So if they try to get rid of this with a skill also, boom, you have this card, you discard it, and this will stay on the board too to give you more defense and let you draw on your opponent's turn and stuff. So it is a really valuable card in the deck. And I will put that one down here. It definitely helps because you need, you can't have one in your drop area. I was thinking about putting this down to 2 and then bumping up some other stuff in here, but that's just a thought I had. But we'll get back into that later on because the ratios, I think, need a little bit of work, but I think it's still super powerful as it is right now. The next card that we run is Royal Condemnation. This is basically your counterplay. It is a super powerful counterplay. So basically, it's got energy exhaust. Counterplay, if your leader card is a Universe 7 card, if the battle card that's being played has an energy cost of 8 or less, it's placed at the bottom of its owner's deck instead of being played. So this can handle secret rares. So if somebody drops a secret rare on you and it doesn't have deflect, you can literally just put it at the bottom of their deck, which is absolutely bonkers that it can handle that. And it also has this other active main. Send this card from your drop area to your warp, and then you can look at the top of your deck. And if it's a multicolor extra card, you can add it to your hand. Otherwise, put it back on top of your deck. So really strong. This goes into your warp for some other things. So also really, really good. But being able to counterplay a secret rare is not a joke. It's definitely really good. The next ones that we run are these cards here. This just came out in set 20. Universe 7 powers combined. So energy exhaust, auto limit 1. If your leader is a red Warriors of Universe 7 card and you place one Universe 7 card from your energy in its owner's drop, at the end of your turn, add this card from your drop area to your energy with its energy exhaust negated. So say you put a Master Roshi, one of these 18s, any of these cards that are Universe 7, you put them in your energy, you could tap it, and then before you end your turn, you KO it. And if this card's in your drop area, which is what this guy and this girl is for, you would, like I said, when you combo with this, you can get a red extra card, which is this because it's red and blue. Put it in your drop area, and it'll basically restand an energy for you on your opponent's turn, or at the beginning of your opponent's turn. So even though this is a red deck, you do have energy manipulation, which makes it super strong. And it's just really good. I run 4 because I have the option to discard it with this to get an extra super combo. And then I also have this ability where I combo with that, and then it'll go right into my drop area. So very good. And like I said, with the Frieza, you could also grab this, put it in your drop area, pay 1 energy, bring it back. So there's a lot of like weird graveyard stuff going on too with it, which is great. It has another ability here. Active main or battle, choose up to one of your cards and it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. And then you choose up to one of your opponent's non-leader cards and it gets a negative 30,000 power for the turn. So this one here does ignoring barrier, but this one doesn't. But you could still KO something or neg something 30k just for some more removal if you need it. And then after you do that, this will go into your drop area, and then you can use it for any of these abilities too. So another really strong card for the deck. I love it. Just untapping energy on your opponent's turn is always good. And plus with this card, it being a red deck, it untaps a lot of energy. So this guy comes into play, he untaps an energy, this untaps energy, this basically untaps an energy. So it's really cool in that aspect. And then another one that we play, this might get switched up to another Royal Commendation or whatever it's called. Explosive Demon Wave. So this is a counter. It's got energy exhaust. If your leader card is red and you choose one red card in your hand and discard it, negate the battle card's counterattack skill, and then switch up to one of your energy to active mode at the end of your turn. So this turns into a free counter, but it only does battle card negates. So if they had like who knows, like a dimension magic or something like that, that's an extra card negate, it wouldn't affect that. But having this card, if they negate with a topo or a floodgate or something, you could play this card no problem, and it would stop the floodgate from hitting the ground. Or if they're like, this guy is a negate, but he's a battle card, so if they played something along these lines, it would also affect this card here. But in that being said, if you had just another Royal Condemnation, you would be able to just use this and pretty much get the same effect. This one just untaps an energy. And then you have more options with this thing to do other stuff if you don't need to do it for this. But also it has that ability where you could send this card from your drop area to your warp and then look at the top card of your deck and find another multicolor extra card. And then you could add it to your hand. So it is good. I just might switch it to one of these. But it being free because you pay it for one energy when you have Invoker for it, and then it restands an energy again, I like it as a one of in this deck, definitely. So one of those. And then we get into our kind of like boss package here. Let me see. So the way this thing works is we run, I'm going to throw another one of these in here. I'm waiting for one in the mail. Son Goku Rival Seeker. So this card's got multiple uses here. It's got energy exhaust, permanent. If you have a red, blue, multicolor extra card in your drop area, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. So it becomes a free 10k combo. And like I said, with the Frieza, you could put this extra card in your drop area, which is red, blue, and then this is live. And what this does is basically it acts as another pseudo super combo. It doesn't draw you a card, but it is a red-blue free combo, so you'll be able to arrival with this no problem. Also, it's got an active main here once per turn. If you have 5 or more energy and you add 2 red, blue, red, 2... Oh, I'm sorry. And you add 2 red-blue multicolor energy... Oh my gosh. If you have 5 or more energy and you add 2 red-blue multicolor extra cards from your warp to your hand, choose up to 1 red-blue multicolor Son Goku card with energy cost of 6 in your hand, and you can play it on top of this card. So this is basically our end game for the most part, because we'll play this for 3 energy. And once we do that, we'll play one of these 2 guys. I have 2 options. I might bump this guy up to 2. I think that this guy's a really good option, but I think that this guy is great. So the first one here is Ultra Instinct Son Goku Energy Explosion. It's got energy exhaust. It's got Invoker. So your Invoker will be live when he's out. Auto, choose 3 of your energy. Choose 3 of your energy and place them in their owner's drop area. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to 3 cards in your drop area, negate their energy exhaust, and place them into your energy. So basically, you play this for free. For 3. And once you play it, you can bring the cards that you warped, 2 of them back to your hand, 2 extra cards. Play this guy, Invoker will be live, and then you can basically drop the energy you used to play him, the 3 energy. the tapped energy into your drop area, and then put 3 more cards into your energy to give you a full stack of energy. So this guy pretty much it becomes free, but you have to be at 5 or more energy with this guy. Or you can play him at 6. So he's got another auto here. Once per turn, when one of your cards deals damage to your opponent, deal an additional damage to your opponent. So for that, we run one of these because, like I said, with all this searching, you can search red, blue cards. You can choose. You can find this guy very easily with all the cards we draw, and then you can find this card very easily. I might bump this to 2. I'll bump this up 1. I'm going to bump this to 2, and then I'll probably bump this to 2. And then it'll be very, very, what's it called? I don't even know the word. Consistent. There it is. There it is. Catastrophic Blow. If you don't know what it does, if you have a red, blue, multicolor Sun Goku card in play, and there are no other battle cards in the battle area, deal 1 damage to your opponent. The thing is, this got errated too to a limit 1, so you can only do it once per turn. That's why I only run 1 right now, but I definitely want to see it, so that's why I'm thinking about bumping it to 2. And then it also has the ability where you can send this card from your drop area to your warp and look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a red, blue extra card, you can bring it to your hand. But with this guy out, say you do enough damage to get your opponent down to about 2 life, all you have to do is play Rival Seeker, play this guy, or wait till turn 6, play this guy. Use one of these, and instead of this doing 1 damage, it'll do 2 damage. But never mind, this guy's also a 35k attacker, so it's very strong. It's a really, really good combo. It did get nerfed a little bit when they did the erratas and everything. That's why the invoker build, the old invoker build, kind of like fizzled off a little bit, but still very, very good. An alternate Goku that you can play with the Rival Seeker is this one here. It's Sun Goku Instinct Surpassed. It's got triple strike deflect. So it comes out, it's pretty safe. Energy exhaust and active main. Choose 2 red, blue, multicolor extra cards in your hand and or drop area and send them to your warp. Choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. And then you can switch this card to active mode. So it turns into a dual attack, triple strike, 35k. Pretty much a 40k because it'll neg your opponent's leader 5k. So it's super strong. Really, really, really strong. So that's just kind of an alternate win condition for the deck. A few other negates that we run because I felt like we needed to definitely hold off to get to this combo. We run 2, Testing the Opposition. If you don't know what it does, you basically, when you're at 5 or less life, you could take a life, you can negate the attack, and then you play a token that has blocker. I think it's a 10k token. I'll read it exactly. If your leader's mono red, negate the attack, then play 1 Cyberman token. And it says down here in parentheses, Cybermen tokens have 5,000 power, 0 combo cost, and 5,000 combo power. Okay. And then the token gets blocker for the turn. So it's really strong. It negates 2 attacks, and it's free basically by taking a life. So another important card for the deck, I feel. And then secret rare. So unfortunately, the secret rare for this deck is like, I think it's like $2,000 right now. But anything that has Victory Strike, there's a red blue multicolor Vegeta Goku. If you guys don't know about it, it's just very sought after. It's a very, very strong card, but also it's got this ability called Victory Strike. All you have to do is hit your opponent 1 time, and you win the game. That's what Victory Strike is. So it's very sought after. It's a very expensive card. I do not have it, unfortunately. I never pulled it. I wanted it bad, trust me. But instead, I run this here. There is another option. There's the Radiant Saiyans, which becomes a free red-blue multicolor combo. And then you pay 2 energy and play it, and then I think it board wipes or something like that. So I'm looking into that one. But this one here is the one I run. Ultimate, Supreme Kai of Time, Space-Time Unraveler. If this card would be removed from the battle area, removed from the game instead. Active main for 1 energy. Choose this card in all of your opponent's battle cards and unison cards and send them to their owner's warps. So you play it for 1, and then you can use that ability. So if you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. If you do, your opponent can't attack with leader cards or unison cards for the turn, and that costs 1 energy. So he comes out for 1. and then you can wait till your next turn, or you can play this on your turn for 1 energy, and then you could play do the ability for another energy. So for 2 energy, you can board wipe everything. And on your opponent's turn, they can't attack with their leaders or the unison cards. So a little bit extra defense. This is the best one that fits it for now. Like I said, I do not have a victory strike, and I want one badly. So we'll see if I can get my hands on one for this deck. But like I said, Radiant Saiyans also might be a really good choice. I also don't own that card, but I'm looking into grabbing it. So that's the deck, you guys. I had some success with it. Unfortunately, I'm new with the deck, so I am not proficient enough to seal the deal sometimes, but I've seen a lot of players take this all the way to first. So if you guys are interested in the deck, definitely check it out. And if you think the ratios could be a little different or you have any advice, let me know. I am definitely trying to tweak this out. It's going to definitely be my red deck because it's a red leader. So I'm definitely going to work on it some more, but it's definitely very, very powerful. The invoker skill definitely helps the deck out a lot, and it gets it steals games like crazy. So I'm gonna check the ratios and do what I can with it, and I'll get back to you guys if I have any improvement. Like I said, let me know. Leave a comment if you guys know anything better. There's a few other new cards that came out that really help with the arrival. There's a Vegeta card that makes the deck a little bit more aggressive, so I'm thinking about putting that in instead of these because I do have other ways to get everything into the drop area. So let me know what you guys think. But that's the deck profile, guys, and I'm DBS CCG Central. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.